Andre, Lydia, thank you for spending time with me this morning. So lucky to be with you guys. I've loved getting to know you a little bit and loved being in business with you. You were South Africa's first capping agents. You capped after how many months at EXP?
Look, basically, we joined in June and capped in February. I would say normal years, we've got to cap much quicker because on your first year, obviously your first 3 months is sort of an empty period because you didn't have anything in the pipeline.
Okay, but even in the first year, you capped after whatever it was, 8 months. So you had sort of 4 or 5 months on 96% of your commission. So any deals you do at the moment, you're getting 96%, which is quite nice. So excellent. Before we get into the business side of things, just tell us a little bit about yourselves. You've been married for how many years, and you've got kids, and you've always stayed where, and just a little bit of your family background.
Yeah, we've been married this year for 20 years. And we've got 4 kids, and 3 of them are out of the house. Still have 1 large lammetjie that's in the house and keeping us very busy. And he's grade 7. And always, no, not always. We actually come from Joburg, but been in Cape Town for 21 years.
20-year anniversary. I hope you guys are doing something special this year to celebrate.
No, I hope so too.
Andre, don't mess it up, eh?
I'll check to you, Steve.
How did you guys originally get into real estate? Because you're a husband and wife team, and that obviously is high pressure. There's a lot of estate agents who have either they're just providing for themselves or they are married to someone who has another career. So they have a dual income home. You guys depend on your real estate business for your entire life. Tell us how that came about. How did you first get into real estate, and how did you end up working together as a team?
Okay, can I tell that story? Okay, so I decided to stay at home while our 3rd child was born. And after she was about 3 years old, and I started looking for another work. I've always come from marketing, got a marketing degree. But I was looking for something a bit more flexible. And I applied for a lot of positions, and then I got interviews as an estate agent, and I never really thought about it, but I went for the interview and I just immediately thought that's something I would love to do. Andre at that stage had an internet marketing business online, and he was in the process of selling it and to an overseas buyer. And that was the end of the process. So he was actually also going to start something new. And I went out the first day, and I came back. I said, no, I can't do this. I can work with the people, but I can't do the admin, and I can't do the contract. So guess what? You're coming with tomorrow.
So that's where we started.
Yeah, that's about it.
And that was it, Andre. You just took orders and you were into real estate. And how long ago was that?
2005.
Yeah.
2005. That's a long time to be in business together after, such a kind of unplanned entry together as a couple into real estate. It's amazing that you guys have made it so far, and you're still smiling and you're doing well. And so maybe each of you could answer this. What is it that you enjoy most about what you do?
I will definitely say, Steve, I love working with the people. I love matching a home to a buyer, and I love all the coffee dates with the old clients. And I love the people.
That's basically it. I mean, one thing that one should understand is, we're not 2 separate estate agents as such. We sort of together we fulfill the role of an estate agent. So Lydia is very much that people's person out there. She's just got a passion for people. She really has, and helping people, not just in real estate, just in general. She's actually an angel on earth. And serious. She loves helping people. And me, on the other hand, with my background, I mean, I actually enjoy sitting in my office doing marketing and admin and legal work and things like that. It's always been that way. So I do that part of it. I sort of do on both sides of the transaction, the marketing, etc. Make Lydia's phone ring. She handles the clients and then hands them back to me when it comes to the legal part of it. In short.
Yeah. So it's quite strategic the way you guys work your partnership.
Yes. Neither one of us is a complete agent. I would say.
Yeah.
On our own.
Okay, so let's then talk about the EXP journey. So Andre, you are kind of unique because you weren't actually approached by someone or by your sponsor to get into EXP. In fact, before EXP had even launched in South Africa, as I understand your story, you had been watching that unfold for a long time, and you had already made a decision. When this company comes to South Africa, I'm joining. So just tell us a little bit about that backstory.
Yes, Steve. Look, I follow quite a lot of guys in the States, sort of prominent agents on social media and YouTube, etc. Just to always know what the trend is there and know what they're doing as far as marketing trends are, etc. And I'd say especially during the hard lockdown 2020, those couple of months we were really stuck at home. I was doing so even more. And suddenly I was noticing a couple of the prominent guys that I was following, quite a few of them, were moving to EXP Realty, which I've never heard of. Guys like Ricky Caruth and Carl Whistle, these are all guys I was following on social media. And some of them, when they were with prominent real estate companies, they were of the top performers. Some of them had huge teams. They were moving entire teams over to EXP Realty. And I just thought, okay, let me go and have a look at EXP Realty. Never thought they'd come to South Africa necessarily. A lot of American brands just sort of stick there. But I had a look at it, and just the whole thing, the whole virtual way of doing business, all the extra perks with a residual income, etc., which we'll probably get into. I thought was fantastic. And after looking at all that, I knew I would join EXP just like that if they ever came to South Africa. But that was then that, and it ended. So then basically in let's say January 2021, I would have joined EXP, but I hadn't even spoken to Lydia then yet because I didn't know it was coming to South Africa. But then I knew, but I had quite an accident and a couple of sort of operations in succession, which delayed it. And in May last year, I came round to it, sort of April, and I said to Lydia, okay, here we go. You go and look into EXP. I think we should join them. You go and look at it and let me know what you think. It took her 24 hours. She was back and she said, it looks fantastic. Let's do it. Anyway, so the point is then we had to find someone. I quickly went on EXP South Africa and looked who's in Cape Town. There was our old mate, Ferdy Abrams. When we joined real estate, I mean, we got to know him, and he was actually quite a mentor to us in the early days. Fantastic guy. And there he was, phoned him up and I said, Ferdy, how are you finding EXP? Will you be our sponsor? And so we took it from there. Yeah. And I must say, quite coincidentally, we then ended up in your group, which has been a blessing. I mean, and it wasn't intended as such. So it all just worked out fantastic.
Steve, as I never thought we would move. Because I've tried Andre a couple of times in the last 16 years. Let's go here. We got a lot of good offers from companies and companies with pension and this and that. And Andre always just said no. And so we've never moved companies. We were with one company and then EXP. And Andre just came to me, and that's how he is. I didn't know anything, and he said, we are moving to EXP, so can you go and look at this? Can you go and look at it and come back to me? And I said, who's EXP? And he said, there's everything you need to know. Go have a look. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, we were 100% agents at Remax and been from the beginning. So we got our full commission, 94%. because they took
with a fixed desk
Yeah.
fee. But,
with a fixed desk fee, and that desk fee was a lot of money per month. But yeah, we've always worked like that, and I think the main thing was for me that what you pay, the 800 rand a month, and what you get for that. And then the other thing is, I don't, as an estate agent, you work really, really hard. And a lot of times you work for free. Now, I don't appreciate it if I work for a company and I've got office meetings for 5 hours or 2 hours at a time and have to go everywhere, and I've got rules and regulations in a specific company, and they don't pay me a salary. I work for my salary. What attracts me is I don't have to go and sit and listen to someone that's not paying a salary for me. I've got my own business, and here they come and say, be at work at 8, give your spreadsheet at that time. How many clients did you see? How many doors did you knock? It's got nothing to do with them because it's not their business. They're not paying me. So that is one of the main things. They treated me like a child. It was the principal's offer. And why did you miss that listing? And I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm working for commission, and this is how you treat me, and I must shake before I get into. And that, for my personality type, that is the attraction.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So for Lydia, only two things mattered. Was one, that you're sort of independent and nobody's checking over your shoulder, and the second was a good commission split.
Yes.
So that's her point, and you sort of lose her with the whole rest of it. And I think for a lot of agents, it is like that. And then later on, they realize how much this other part can help them. And even Lisna said, I mean, we got her to join. She was joining for the independence and the commission split.
Yeah.
That was it. She said afterwards, gee, and now she realizes how much, yet all that she saw in the beginning. That's maybe something one should touch on, Steve. The fact that, I mean, obviously with many traditional agencies, they will allocate you to a certain area. And, well, definitely as an agent, having a farming area is a very important thing to become known in your area. But very often those areas that are allocated to you in other agencies are very small. So, I mean, just down the road is another suburb, but you're not allowed to work there. So if you get a seller there, you have to refer them to the agent that works there, whether that agent is really good or not. So that's sort of where you sit. Whereas we can work a much wider area. We can work anywhere with EXP. I mean, there's no boundaries. So you can work wherever you want to work. Obviously, logistically, we do look at whether it's feasible or not. But at least you get to, like with us, we definitely work the whole Durbanville. We always have, but I mean, we work the whole Durbanville, and we'll work a little bit around that as well, because logistically it is quite possible. It makes a big difference to the amount of business you can do and the amount of clients you can actually help, rather than having to refer them to an agent that you possibly don't even really know that well, but you have to refer to them.
And has it delivered on that promise? How has the time been with EXP?
No, absolutely fantastic. I mean, if you want to join an office meeting, you do it virtually. It's fantastic. You can sit in your pajamas if you choose, but you are part of it, and you don't miss out. You actually experience more. And the WhatsApp group is fantastic because everyone is the same-minded people running their own business, so they don't. There's no backstabbing and Skinner and just time wasters, because everyone's building their own business. They're not there just to make conversation. And at the end of the day, that is what you want, and it's very professional, and I enjoy that a lot.
Andre, has EXP delivered on your expectations?
Absolutely. Where do you want me to start? Just on that topic of office meetings and things like that and training. I mean, EXP has more training, etc., available than any other company, as far as I'm concerned, and it's readily available. And but the thing is, yeah, you can pick and choose what suits you, what you need to know, what you need to learn. Meetings the same. I mean, it's all voluntary. You end up choosing your meetings. I mean, our Monday morning every 2 weeks, we won't miss that unless it's absolutely essential that we've got to be somewhere else, because it's worth our while to be there and collaborate with other agents. And I mean, just on that note, I mean, that's been something that's been actually quite unexpected. The level of collaboration between agents in EXP is just magnificent. You just there's so much knowledge within EXP, because it's the stronger agents that have tended to join EXP. And so you just ask a question on the WhatsApp groups, on work chat. You just ask a question and you get a multitude of very, very informed answers. That's almost off topic now. And then just the other things, the other perks of EXP, working towards the exit strategy. I mean, the shares we've earned, we've got quite a number of shares already in EXPI on the NASDAQ Stock Exchange. We've got revenue shares starting to come in, which is actually quite substantial. When you look at the group you've got and the potential that's there, but now we're starting to see it firsthand. So EXP is over delivered, and the virtual world, which I thought would probably and possibly work okay, works magnificently. It's quite something, the avatar world. It sounds very strange and freaky in a way, but it just works so well. And you just pop into a meeting and within a minute you can be in another meeting. And it really works. Yeah.
Where do you see yourselves in 5 years' time?
We would have been, in 5 years' time, we would still have been fighting the same battle every month, starting at 0 and having to work for your next commission. That's just the normal thing. So you're actually hoping just to make enough commission that you can invest in the necessary places, etc. Whereas now, and after a year, we're seeing it in reality. There is really an exit strategy with EXP. Firstly, with the shares that you earn for just doing what you normally do. And the reason EXP can do that is because they've cut out all the middlemen and the brick and mortar. There's a lot more money to go around. And then the revenue share, which you're simply attracting other agents by just doing what you're doing. We haven't actually very actively gone out there and decided we're going to try and attract other agents.
Yeah.
But you are incentivized that if somebody asks you, it's really, it's to your advantage to really tell them about the business, but it's also to their advantage to know about the business. So right now we can actually see there is an exit strategy. So in 5 years from now, I see ourselves most likely earning a larger portion of our income from residual income from the team that has built below us, and having to rely less on what you really have to actively do. So you could be working more towards a retirement plan. So we've got a team of 28 already. And we don't even quite know how that happened.
Well, I can tell you the way that EXP grows. You keep doing what you're doing. In 5 years' time, you're very likely going to have 300, 400, 500 people in your group. The first 28 are actually the hardest. It just begins to grow exponentially because it's not your effort. It's Lisner's efforts and Mariki's efforts, and it's all starting to combine. And at that point, even once you've got sort of 200 agents in your team, you will be earning a 6-figure income on a monthly basis. And I can tell you that from personal experience. So the revenue sharing, not even talking about the stock awards, but the revenue sharing of this business is everything they say it is, and it can truly set you free in a way that the other real estate companies in South Africa, as good as they are, as wonderful as some of their systems are, they just don't have an exit plan that they can offer real estate agents. And I think that is the thing that really has got many people's attention around the world.
You owe it to yourself to really investigate the opportunity. Not just sort of, you really have to watch the model explain, but really watch it, pause it, think about it, watch it with someone who knows. You owe it to yourself to look at this opportunity, because there's nothing like it. There just is nothing like it, and the opportunities are endless.
Yeah, and if you are serious about real estate and real estate as your profession, then you can't miss joining EXP, because you're doing exactly the same as you've always done, but you're just getting so much extra. So why wouldn't you take that? Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. We are very happy.
Absolutely.
So am I. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the journey that you're taking together with me and the rest of the team. It's wonderful.